Welcome to Menopause Taylor. I hope I'm finding you in high spirits and a good frame of mind today. If not, it will be my goal to put you there by the end of this tutorial. This is Menopause, your management, your way, now and for the rest of your life. And this is tutorial number 63. This one is about psychology, the psychology of menopause. I've had some requests for this and I think it's a critical aspect of menopause, so I wanted to bring it to you. You won't find the material in the book or the outline notes, and you won't really need any materials for this topic. It'll make complete sense to you, I promise. So, why should we discuss the psychology of menopause? And why should you watch this video on the psychology of menopause? Well, you know what? I'll bet you can answer that question simply by uttering the word menopause in any social setting. You'll see by the reactions you get to that one simple word that we definitely need to talk about the psychology of menopause. The sad truth is that the word menopause makes most people uncomfortable. Well, if merely speaking the word menopause makes people uncomfortable, we definitely need to talk about the psychology behind it. And if merely speaking the word menopause makes most other people uncomfortable, it's no wonder that the actual process of menopause would make most menopausal women uncomfortable. But it should be that way. And I'm here to help you change it. Do you remember way back in the olden days when you were a kid and your mother said, "Honey, let's have a little talk," and she told you about how you were going to start having periods? You probably thought that having periods sounded dreadful, and having your first period may have actually been dreadful. I remember we used to refer to our period as the curse. But you know what? Over the years, we started referring to it as our friend. Yeah, we'd say things like, "I can't go swimming today because my friend is visiting." That's way back before we started using tampons and things. I'm pretty old. And do you remember when your mom said, "Honey, let's talk about the birds and the bees," and she told you about sex? Now, depending on how young you were, you might have thought sex sounded pretty gross too. And you know what? If your big brother told you about it instead of your mom, as it was the case for me, it might have sounded really, really, really disgusting. You see, my big brother told me that my dad pees on my mom. I was mortified. But hey, we all ended up enjoying sex quite a bit for quite a while, didn't we? So here you have another situation. Here we are again talking about yet another phase of life as a female, menopause. Okay, now stop right there. What is your first reaction? Are you making a sour face? Are you feeling dreadful? Are you still stuck in that "I don't want to go through menopause" mindset? Didn't you outgrow that mentality with your periods and with sex? Why are we still stuck there when it comes to menopause? Why can't we convert our impressions of menopause from dreadful and gross to wonderful and graceful? You see, Mother Nature doesn't give you a choice with certain things. What was the alternative to having that first period? You would have remained a child forever, right? Would you have preferred that? What was the alternative to having sex? You would have been a virginal spinster for the rest of your life. Would you have preferred that? Okay, maybe you are a virgin in your 50s. Do you prefer that? Well, so here we are at menopause. And you know what your alternative is? Death. Would you prefer that? You see, the psychology of menopause is all about how you think about it. And how you think about it depends on how educated you are about it. And how educated you are about it determines how you embrace it. So my purpose is to educate you so well that you look forward to it and consider it a gift to appreciate. And if you're already well into your menopause and have hated it, I want to change your mind about that. I mean, your only way around it is to die. So why aren't we happy about the opportunity to experience menopause? You know, women used to die before they ever became menopausal. So maybe that's why menopause is so foreign to most people. Maybe we're way behind in catching up to the fact that we live so long. Well, you know what? I'm thrilled that I get to live long enough to experience menopause. And I'm determined to make you feel the same way. Let's flash back again. You experienced symptoms during puberty, didn't you? But you weren't sick. I mean, sure, parts of puberty were bumpy for both you and your family. But you all got through it. And you turned out pretty well, didn't you? What about pregnancy? You experienced symptoms during pregnancy, but you weren't sick. Parts of it were bumpy, even miserable. I mean, Mother Nature expected you to push a baby out through your vagina. I mean, how ridiculous is that? You know how you can be sure that God is male? A female God would have had us lay eggs. I mean, sitting on an egg wouldn't have been nearly as bad as pushing a baby out your vagina. At the very least, a female God would have installed an eject button rather than making you push a baby out your vagina. And what's the alternative to pushing the baby out of your vagina? A C-section. That's a great big operation. But you know what? Even knowing that you would have to deliver your baby, you were probably excited about being pregnant, weren't you? And not only did you survive your pregnancy, you probably loved your child quite a bit too, didn't you? Now, if you can survive puberty and pregnancy, and even love your child enough to go through pregnancy all over again and have more than one child, you can't tell me that you'll succumb to menopause. I mean, menopause is so much easier than delivering a baby or raising a child, or even managing a marriage. You are a strong, wise woman with a lot of experience. And there are multiple ways to manage every single aspect of your menopause. Not only that, you have me. I'm here to guide you and make everything easy for you. Menopause is better than ever before, and it can be the best part of your life. You know, back when people died in their 50s, 50 was old, but not anymore. Now, 50 is only middle age. So your menopause does not mean the end is near. Sure, some aspects of your life may change or even stop, but for the most part, it's full speed ahead. Everything you experience in your life has two parts: the physical reality of it and your mental interpretation and attitude about it. So menopause is no different. How you view menopause will affect how you experience menopause. You know, studies have been done on this. And here are the 5 things that those studies show. Number 1, women who are happy with their lives experience fewer problems at the time of menopause. Number 2, a negative attitude about menopause is associated with more severe symptoms of menopause. Number 3, your body image plays a huge role in your attitude about menopause. Lower self-esteem and a negative body image are associated with more severe menopausal symptoms. Number 4, the degree of distress at menopause varies from woman to woman, but the variation is not due to how severe your symptoms are. It's due to your attitude. And number 5, your coping skills greatly affect your menopause. Better coping skills are associated with fewer symptoms of menopause. And here's the most important message of all. There's a domino effect between all these things. So you get to choose between one of two mind-body scenarios. Here's the first one. Oh my God, I'm dreading menopause. I'd rather die. I'm so old and unattractive. My symptoms are more miserable than anything I've ever experienced before. I'm gonna be bitter and angry about this. I can't cope. Or you can pick a different scenario. Menopause is my next phase of life. I'm so fortunate to live long enough to experience menopause. I'm only middle-aged and I've still got a lot of spunk. Gosh, these menopausal symptoms are nothing compared to puberty and pregnancy. What's there to be upset about? I have options for managing everything. I can deal with this, and I have Menopause Barbie to help me. You pick. You see, I choose option number 2. I'm making the rest of my life the best of my life. Why don't you join me? The fact is this, your menopause is whatever you make it. So if we're going to label menopause and adopt an attitude about it, why not make it positive? How about viewing it as a time of greater confidence and wisdom, more time for yourself, greater self-awareness and self-worth, personal growth, and setting an example of self-acceptance for the younger generation? I think I'll leave you with that. And you know what? In the next tutorial, we're going to discuss the psychological aspects of menopause a bit further. And until then, I want you to look on the bright side. You know, we're all going to get through this together, and we're going to have fun doing it. So don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Keep your chin up, have a good attitude, and join me in a week.